Thank you, Debbie. 1 in 3 Canadians committed financial infidelity last year. What does that mean? Money coach Lama Farran is here to tell us. Good morning, Lama.
Good morning, Laura.
So what qualifies as financial infidelity?
Yeah, well, it's really a whole broad spectrum. So it can be something as small as buying an item, removing the tag and hiding it when you get home. It could be the other end of the spectrum, which is gambling the family's savings away or getting your family in debt without them knowing, right? So it's really, the definition, if you want, is really any dishonest financial move that you make, and then you make a conscious effort to hide it because you know it's going to upset your partner or it's going to get them angry.
Did 1 in 3 Canadians surprise you?
Not really, because I mean they're probably more on the smaller end of the spectrum with small purchases. Not necessarily gambling the families away, but no, it doesn't really surprise me.
Okay, so you have some tools to strengthen the financial relationship within the couple, and your first strategy is to essentially make sure you're on the same page.
Yeah, well, if you have common financial goals that you're working towards, and you're both motivated to achieve them, then it's going to decrease the chances of one person going and spending money in a way that's not aligned with these goals. But it's really important for these goals to be able to motivate both of you. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Now, speaking of work, your second tip here is to actually split the work 50-50. One can be doing it all.
Yeah. Well, one of the first questions I ask my new clients is who takes care of the money in your household? Because I want to know if it's one person who does everything and the person is completely hands-off. And that's not really necessarily a good breakout of things, because you want both people to be involved, maybe not 50-50, but to be both involved and not to have one person completely in the dark and the other person knowing exactly what's happening.
The next thing is to communicate.
Yeah, communicate. But what happens whenever we talk about money, there's a lot of arguments and finger pointing and blaming. So there's this amazing communication technique that it was conceived by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. And it's a communication technique that works for everything, not just money. And it's very structured. It's 4 steps. So one person takes their turn and talk about how they're observing the situation to be, how that makes them feel, what their need is not being fulfilled right now, and they request one thing from their partner. And meanwhile, the partner is just listening, not interrupting, and then it's their turn to say what they're observing, again, what they're needing and not what they're feeling,
Yeah, so that works in a money conversation as well. And the important thing in your fourth strategy is don't make money such a taboo subject.
Yeah, I mean, we also only talk about it when there's an issue that comes up, right? But talk about it on a regular basis, just to normalize it. Even when things are going well, talk about it. This is, it's good. So it's really about normalizing the topic so it doesn't become necessarily a lot of tension prone around it.
Yeah, because it could be stressful. Like, it could, number one cause of friction probably amongst a couple. And last but not least, get help if you need it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've tried all these things and still nothing works, so get external help. So external help can be a couples therapist, it could be a money coach. Because what happens is when there's a third party involved in the equation, it can help the couple to make compromises and to achieve productive outcomes.
Yeah, you act as sort of a mediator.
Exactly.
Always great advice, Lama Farran. Thank you so much.